Hi everyone, welcome to Skitz Music and Crime. Today we're going to be talking about another case. It's about a kid called Romeo Nance, a 23-year-old man who unleashed a shocking wave of violence that left 8 people unalived in Joliet, Illinois. Romeo was no stranger to the criminal justice system, with a history of violent defences, including armed robbery and shooting incident. On a fateful Sunday in January 2024, he would go on a deadly rampage, taking the lives of 7 of his closest family members, including his sister and his mother, who was seen previously on body cam footage fighting against his arrest. He would also take the life of an innocent bystander. What drove this young man to commit such a hideous act? This story takes us to Joliet, Illinois, a city with a rich history and a tightened community known for its lively livingly neighborhoods and strong sense of community. Juliet was shocked when it became the backdrop for a chilling series of events that forever changed the lives of many. Romeo Nance, the central figure in this tragic tale, was a 23-year-old man who grew up on Juliet. Romeo had a troubled side that few saw. He worked various jobs, but none were stable or long-term. Romeo was often in and out of employment, which added to his growing frustrations. So I'm just going to show you a video.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Now I believe I can have it. Ooh, ooh, tamu, ooh, ooh, tamu. All of my wishes came true. Shop like a billionaire. Shop like a billionaire. Ooh, ooh, tamu, ooh, ooh, tamu. Rob and Judy, investigators have been on scene on this residential block since early afternoon after making a gruesome discovery in 2 homes, and now there's an active manhunt underway for a person considered armed and dangerous. Police at this hour are seeking an individual by the name of Romeo Nance. Authorities releasing a photo of Nance, and they say he may be driving a red Toyota Camry. Joliet police responding this afternoon to the 2200 block of West Acres Road. That's on the west side of Joliet. Authorities say multiple people were found shot to death in 2 homes on that block. Police have not said exactly how many victims there are and what may have led to the gunfire, but an active investigation is now underway. Again, that person people are seeking, identified as Romeo Nance, and investigators also releasing images of the car he's believed to be driving. Again, a red Toyota Camry with license plate number Q730412. That's Q730412. Police also asking that anyone with information call Joliet Police. And again, Nance should be considered armed and dangerous. We're live in Joliet. Eric Hong, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, so he had a 3-year-old son with his longtime girlfriend, Kylie Cleveland. Though he tried to be a good father, his erratic behaviour and unstable lifestyle often overshadows his efforts. He had a history of minor run-ins with the law, nothing that hinted at the horrific acts he would eventually commit. His personality was a mix of warm and violated combination that kept those around him on edge. But Romeo Nance's life took a dark and unexpected turn that no one saw coming. On January the 21st, 2024, Sunday, a series of horrific events unfolded in Joliet, Illinois. forever altering the community's sense of safety and peace. It was a day that started like any other, but ended on an unimaginable tragedy. That Sunday began with a normal morning in the 2022 block of West Acres Road, where Romeo's family lived in two separate houses. The tranquility of the neighborhood was shattered when Romeo began an unaliving spree that would leave 7 of his relatives unalived. Inside one of the houses, he brutally unalived his mother, 47-year-old Taman Ants, and his uncle, 35-year-old William Estes. In the second house, the carnage continued. So I'll just show you another video. Oh. I think that's it.
More light shed today on the horrific killing of 8 people in Joliet.
Yeah, police are retracing the path of the killer to his death in Texas.
Nate Rogers has been tracking the tragedy in Will County from the beginning. Nate.
We've been in contact with the victims' family members as well as their colleagues, many still too distraught to speak on camera at this time. We also now know for sure the relation of those victims to the suspect. The Will County coroner identifying the victims as the suspect's mother, 47-year-old Tamika Nance, his aunt, 38-year-old Christine Esters, who's a corrections officer at the Joliet Treatment Center. Also killed 35-year-old William Esters, the suspect's uncle. Also 31-year-old Joshua Nance, his brother who was bedridden. Finally, the suspect's 3 sisters, 20-year-old Alexandria Nance, 16-year-old Alana Nance, and 14-year-old Angel Nance, all shot to death.
We can't get inside his head. We just don't have any clue as to why he did what he did.
Police now believe the suspect, 23-year-old Romeo Nance, committed the heinous murders Sunday afternoon, then jumped on the road inside his red Toyota, landing in Texas. Police say Nance swapped his license plate with a stolen one before being chased by U.S. Marshals at this service station in Natalia, Texas.
Task force officers with the United States Marshals Service observed Mr. Nance armed with a firearm fleeing from the vehicle.
Authorities say Nance eventually shot himself after a confrontation with police. Detectives went to his home here in the 2200 block of Acres Lane Monday, finding blood on the front door. Inside, 2 relatives were dead. At the family's second home, 5 others discovered murdered.
We do believe that the shootings at the 2200 block were the original shootings, and then the 2 random shootings took place shortly thereafter.
Unrelated to this crime scene, police say Nance, who has a criminal history, then allegedly killed 28-year-old Doyosi Bakari and shot a 42-year-old man, also in Joliet.
During the course of this investigation, we determined that a 3-year-old boy was unaccounted for. And we quickly located that child with a relative in a nearby community.
And as you can see, more than 24 hours after the start of this investigation, the crime scene still remains blocked off. We know that crisis intervention teams were out here throughout the day speaking with neighbors and with family members as well. Police also telling us they don't believe that the suspect had any association in Texas. That is the latest here in Joliet. Nate Rogers, Fox 32, Chicago.
Book your car rentals.
And as he took the lives of his 3 sisters, 20-year-old Alexandran Ants and 60-year-old Alan Ants and 14-year-old Angel Nance. Also among the unalived were his auntie, 38-year-old Christine Esters, and his brother, 31-year-old Joshua Nance. News of the unaliving spread quickly, sending shockwaves through Gillette and beyond. The community was horrified as details emerged about the extent of the violence. The Will County Sheriff's Office launched a manhunt for Romeo, who had fled the scene. They conducted surveillance and knocked on doors. Piecing together the timeline of the brutal attacks, he is believed to be driving a red Toyota Camry with the license plate Q730412. As investigators worked tirelessly, they discovered that Romeo's violence was not continuing to his family around the same time. As the family unalivings, he randomly pupilled 2 men in separate incidents. One victim, 28-year-old Toyos Baker, was unalived near the Pheasant Run apartments in Joliet Township. The other victim, a 42-year-old man, was pupilled on Davis Street but survived his injuries. These random attacks of violence added another layer of fear and confusion to a already chaotic situation. But there was an news broke that he had fled to Texas. Law enforcement agencies, including the U.S. Marshals, joined the search, tracking his movements across state lines as well. So I'll just show you another one.
Book your car rental, stay, and flights.
The funeral for 7 of the 8 victims from the horrific shootings is set to begin at 11 this morning at Victory Church in Joliet. This comes as we learn new details into this investigation. Now, Will County detectives went to Texas earlier this week to recover Romeo Nance's car and other evidence. Investigators say the gun Nance used to kill Toyosi Bakari is the same weapon recovered by police in Texas. Authorities also added it's the same gun Nance used to take his own life. Officials say Nance shot 9 people on January 21st, 8 fatally across 4 separate crime scenes before taking his life following a confrontation with law enforcement in Natalia, Texas. Police say Nance was related to most of the people he targeted, including his mother and sisters, but it's still not clear why he went on the shooting rampage and ultimately traveled to Texas. His girlfriend, Kylie Cleveland Singleton, is facing an obstruction of justice charge related to the case. Police say she lied during their search for Nance. She's out on electronic monitoring and due back in court next week. Now, as these families prepare to lay their loved ones to rest, Joliet's mayor is asking residents and businesses to help raise money to cover the cost of the funerals.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to.
So, just read this bit here. An accomplice of Romeo in these hideous crimes during the investigation, it was revealed that John Hanson, a longtime friend and associate, was present with Romeo during the pew-pewing incidents. By Monday, January the 22nd, authorities had identified Romeo as the prime suspect in both the family unalivings and the random pew-pewing, and John Hanson as an accomplice. The urgency to capture Romeo intensified as news broke out that he had fled to Texas. Law enforcement agencies, including the U.S. Marshals, joined the search, tracking his movements across state lines. On January the 23rd, 2024, the manhunt came to a tragic end. Romeo was located outside a gas station in Natalia, Texas. A confrontation with the Texas law enforcement ensued, and as officers closed in, Romeo ended his own life with a pew-pew. The terror he had unleashed in Joliet was finally over, but the aftermath left the community grappling with grief and unanswered questions. January the 28th, family and friends gathered to remember each lost soul. On January the 24th, 2024, detectives with the Will County Sheriff's Office obtained an arrest warrant for John Hanson. John Hanson, at 24 years old, resident of Shorewood, with a history of prior crime offences in Will County, has been charged by the Will County Sheriff's Office for his involvement in aiding Romeo Nance in a series of violent crimes. John is facing serious charges, including 3 accounts of first-degree unaliving, 1 account of attempted unaliving, and 1 account of aggravated robbery with a pew-pew. John disclosed to detectives that Romeo provided him with a firearm. So I'm just going to show you another video.
Well, good morning. The 21-year-old entered a plea of not guilty in a very, very quick hearing this morning. She is free on home confinement as this case makes its way through the court system. Kaylee Cleveland Singleton left the Will County Courthouse with a scarf over her face and someone leading her away from reporters and cameras. She didn't make any statements as she left. She is facing a charge of obstruction of justice. Prosecutors say she gave false information during their investigation and search for her boyfriend, Romeo Nance. Police say Nance had shot and killed 7 members of his family and another man before taking off for Texas. He shot and killed himself as U.S. Marshals closed in on him there. Prosecutors say Cleveland Singleton told investigators she didn't have Nance's phone number. The two do have a child together. She will be back in court on March 5th. We're live at the Will County Courthouse. I'm Eric Rung, WGN News.
So immediately after pew-pewing on Davis Street in Gillette, where Mario Guerrero was pewed and survived, John further stated that he was also with Romeo when Toyo's Packer and was fatally pewed at the Pheasant Run apartments. The firearm used in these pew-pewings was identified as a 9mm pew and an attempt evidence. John admitted to disposing of the pew the river near his residence. Despite John reluctantly to provide further details, law enforcement was able to recover the pew through additional investigative efforts. So that's the end of my live. Thank you for coming, and I'm going to do one more straight after this, which is the one I was supposed to do today, but I didn't get it done. So I'll finish that, and then that'll be me. Thank you again for coming, and don't forget to come straight back after this one.